I'm ready. Here we go. We're going. I'm ready.
This is Penn Sunday School, and to our listening ears, all angels sings and round us rings the music of the spheres.
Sunday School. Brothers, sisters, siblings, welcome to Penn Sunday School starring Penn Gillette. My name is Michael Houdeau. Matt, Reddy, Rich, Penn, and I are broadcasting from our separate homes in Las Vegas. This week, we're continuing our fun with the great Gilbert Gottfried and the great Piff the Magic Dragon. They're both on the TV show Tournament of Laughs and soon may be in head-to-head competition. Here he is, preaching love, Mr. Penn Gillette.
Two of my favorite people on every level here. I mean, I should also say Matt and Godot and Reddy are also there. I should also say 5 of my favorite people, but 3 of those are here every week. And 2 of them are special. So I have 5 of my favorite people. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 of my favorite people here. And so, Gilbert, how many competition reality shows have you been on?
Oh, geez. Well, like you, I was on Celebrity Apprentice. I was on Celebrity Cook-Off.
And you're on Celebrity Jack-Off, too.
Yeah, that's the one. That one, he won first prize. Yeah.
And what else?
But, let's see. I don't Well, Wife Swap wasn't a competition so much.
Oh, come on. That's a competition.
I was on, it wasn't a competition show, but I was on like Celebrity Ghost Hunters or something.
Really? Celebrity Ghost Hunters?
Yeah, it was us with our, ghost hunting packs on our backs. And we were in what they said was an abandoned insane asylum in Long Island where there was a ghost of a serial killer who they said was roaming.
I don't know where the modifier is. Are the people hunting the ghost celebrities or is the ghost a celebrity?
Well, the other celebrity with me was Tracy Lords.
Oh.
The porn star. And so the spirit was willing.
And you were there, so the flesh was weak.
Yeah, I didn't have a ghost of a chance. And so there was one part, you know how in Ghost, he has to take the body of Whoopi Goldberg so Whoopi Goldberg can hug Demi Moore. And so in here, I swear to God, Tracy Lords, we're all standing around a fire, and Tracy Lords is chanting to the ghost serial killer, "Come in me, please come in me." And it sounded very well rehearsed. But that's absolutely true. She was yelling, "Come in me."
We had Tracy Lords on Sin City Spectacular.
Yes, we did.
With Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, I remember. That was a fun one.
And she walked off the set because the gag we were doing was that to do magic, you had to be in league with Satan. And I said about myself, she said, "How'd you do this magic trick?" And I said, "We had to strip naked and kill Christian babies." And she came to us and said, "You would have never said strip naked if I wasn't on." That was a reference to my porn career. And I said, "No, it wasn't. We did the same bit with Christopher Reeve. And Christopher Reeve doesn't have a porn career." And she wouldn't believe us.
But he was certainly stiff.
Yeah. Are you going to do What Will the Reeve Family Not See This Christmas? Christopher Walken? You do that joke?
Now, I heard on that show where she walked out on you, someone told me that she got really angry Tracy Lords, and actually screamed out, "Why is everybody fucking with me?"
She did. And the amazing thing was, we treated her with complete respect. The script, she was replacing someone else. It wasn't written to make fun of her. And the problem was, one of the stagehands had a penthouse picture of her and asked her for an autograph. And she knocked that out of his hand and stormed off. And the casting person on the show said to us, we have to apologize and try to get her back because her agent handles other people we want on the show. And Teller, in one of the funniest moments I've ever seen, said, "I will call her." And I said, okay. And she was up in her room, and I only heard Teller's side of the conversation, but Teller did exactly this. Teller called up and said, "Hello, Tracy, this is Teller. We're very, very sorry. You shouldn't have been treated that way. We hope you come back. Please, please do that. Thank you. This is Teller. Goodbye." I've never known Teller to be that way, but he was so angry that we were being busted. I mean, it's true. A stagehand should not have asked for an autograph, I suppose, although stagehands asked other people for autographs, and the fact that it was a penthouse picture might have been because that's the picture he had of her. You know, I don't think there was any disrespect. I had no disrespect towards her whatsoever. So maybe she was having other problems. But also her boyfriend at the time was very, very Christian and also attacked me for being an atheist. So.
That's the most obscene thing, is being an atheist, not sucking cock.
That was also, wasn't that Banjo Sandwich Day?
Yes, it was.
The same day.
It was quite a day on Sin City Spectacular.
Banjo
Big
sandwich.
day. Banjo Sandwich.
You know, see, this is where one of the places the aristocrats started, okay? I was talking to the great Johnny Thompson, and he was saying that he had been talking to Mac King, and they were trying to think of jokes whose punchline was totally visual, okay? So I said, "Johnny, what joke did you have?" And he said, "Banjo Sandwich." And I said, "What's the Banjo Sandwich joke? I don't know it." And he said, "Well, I'm not going to tell it again. I just told it to Mac. So let Mac tell it to you." So Mac said, "Okay, I'll tell it to you." I went to and of course, this is going to be on a podcast. We'll have to describe it. It's a totally visual punchline. I went to a restaurant, and there on the menu was Banjo Sandwich. And I said to the server, "What's a Banjo Sandwich?" And she said, "It's wonderful, just order it." And I said, "What's a Banjo Sandwich?" And she said, "It's wonderful, just order it." So I said, "Okay, I'll have a Banjo Sandwich." And there she delivered me 2 pieces of toast with 2 soft-boiled eggs in between it. And I said, "Why is it called a Banjo Sandwich?" And she said, "Just eat it." And I said, "But why is it called a Banjo Sandwich?" She said, "Just have it." So I picked up the 2 soft-boiled eggs and the 2 pieces of toast, and I held it up. I took a bite, and I went, Now what I'm doing now is the yolk is run down the front of me. I've pulled the sandwich away, and I've brushed it off. And that looks like you're playing a banjo. So she just finished telling me that joke, Mac did, and Gilbert came up. And Gilbert said, "What are you all laughing at?" And I said, "The Banjo Sandwich joke." And he said, "I don't know it." So then I told Gilbert the Banjo Sandwich joke, and he was laughing, and Kevin Meaney came up. And Kevin Meaney said, "What are you laughing at?" And I said, "Gilbert, tell the Banjo Sandwich joke." Now, the Banjo Sandwich joke changed remarkably because the Banjo Sandwich was now being served in a deli in Brooklyn. And the person coming in hated Jews. And the waiter was elderly and was a Holocaust survivor. And Gilbert told the whole banjo sandwich joke to Kevin Meaney. And Kevin Meaney listened to it. And then Harry Anderson came up and said, "What are you laughing at?" And we said, "Gilbert just told this great joke to Kevin Meaney." And I said, "Tell the joke, Kevin Meaney." And all of a sudden, it was no longer in Brooklyn. It was in Iowa. And it was a traveling feed salesman. And that made us laugh so much, everybody's different style, that we started talking about it. Now, Gilbert, what other jokes do you know that have a totally visual punchline?
Oh, jeez. Okay. There's one, this Italian guy gets his arm chopped off in a machine. And he goes to a doctor, and the doctor says, "Well, I can reattach the arm, but it'll be $1,000. And he goes, $1,000? Never. And he goes,
Was that your, wait a second, was that your Italian accent?
I'm playing Mussolini in a movie next week. So, and so he goes to another doctor, and the doctor says, "Oh, I can attach the arm for like $5. And they attach the arm, and then he goes back to the doctor who said he was going to charge $1,000. He goes, "You said, or you said, you said you were gonna charge me $1,000? Fuck you! Whoa!" So, for those of you who aren't watching this, he gives the fuck you sign.
Well, the fuck you sign, wait a second. The fuck you sign to many people is the middle finger.
The finger, yeah.
To Piff, the Magic Dragon, it's 2 fingers. But to the Italian, it's taking your arm and banging it at the elbow and pushing a fagula, like that.
Yeah, yes.
That, by the way, that was my Italian.
And then you gotta look like you're watching your arm separate from your body and fly across the room.
There's the other joke with a visual punchline. That is, a guy's walking down the street carrying 2 watermelons.
Yeah.
And someone comes up to him and says, "What time is it?" And the guy goes, Now, what I did there was I mimed putting down one watermelon, then putting down the other, then shrugging my shoulders. I don't know.
See now, when I heard that joke, the way I heard it, it was an old Jew, of course. I don't know if he was a Holocaust survivor or not. That's in the extended version. He is. I actually describe him going under the barbed wire and escaping. And I heard he's carrying a bunch of packages, and a Russian says to him, "What time is it?" And he says, "Oh, can you hold these packages for me?" And then he throws his hands up in the air and goes, "I don't know."
Piff, what jokes do you know that have a visual punchline?
Well, most of my act doesn't really survive people describing it. So you know, when people say, "Oh, I saw Piff the Magic Dragon last night," what did he do? Well, he put a chihuahua in a can and shot it into a wall. People go, "What? No, it was funny at the time. No, you know, you'd have loved it." Then what did he do? Well, then the dog got a card trick wrong, so he broke its paw. Really?
Matt, any visual punchlines of jokes?
The only one I can think of is it's not only is it not good for air, but it's also inappropriate. It's not something. It's insensitive to women and their body parts.
Oh, I know that one too. The punchline is this, right?
Yeah.
This.
Yeah. No, not this. Yeah.
This, yeah.
Yes, I was thinking of, I know the one you mean. I was thinking of that, and I was thinking, that's a really hard to describe one if you're not looking.
That was the problem you had with it, Gilbert? That was your problem with it?
My problem is it would take too much work on my end.
Well, I'll just give you the setup. A guy spends the night with a Holocaust surviving hooker.
And they're in Brooklyn.
And he's talking to his Jewish deli owner friend. Michael Godot, any jokes with just a visual punchline?
Of course. There's a man out hunting deer. It's not deer season. He's poaching. He shoots a deer, picks up the deer and throws it over his shoulder, and he's carrying it out of the woods. The ranger comes up, catches him, says, hey, hold on. What are you doing, mister? It's not deer season. The guy says, I haven't seen a deer all day. And the ranger says, what's that on your shoulder?
Much easier to describe than the inappropriate one.
Yeah. I do a family show.
I thought for sure this was going to go towards a deer's vagina, but I was wrong. I was wrong on where the joke was going.
Well, it was a deer who survived the Holocaust.
Ready, Rich? Do you have any jokes with just a visual punchline?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Yeah.
Yahoo!
Yahoo!
Ah!
There you go.
The only one
Another
who
good
didn't
one.
deliver, Piff, really, was you.
No.
And I'm okay with that because I will be voting for Gilbert to beat me on Tournament of Laughs. And therefore, do not want to upstage the moment here.
Now, Piff, how many competition shows have you been on?
Oh, God. I mean, I can't seem to get out of them. I'm really hoping that one day I'll do something that is that has no need for me to get on my hands and knees in front of the public for one of many acts.
Actually, that is the visual punchline of the joke.
Piff the Magic Dragon is now buckling on his knees as he slowly holds what may possibly be a microphone, but undoubtedly is not. I did America's Got Talent, I did Penn and Teller Flawless, all of them are competition shows. I hate it. Why are we trying to compete to do this stupid job?
I know, it's the sportification of art.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so brutal. And then, and I did a podcast with Judah Friedlander, I was up against in the first round, and we were talking about it. And then, they want you to and they did this on America's Got Talent. They want you to roast the other contestants. You're up against so-and-so. What do you want to, what's your trash talk against so-and-so? I'm like, I don't want to trash talk anyone. It's yeah. So, but that's what the job is today. So that's what I'll do today.
On Celebrity Apprentice, they would try so hard to get you to trash other people. I was told that I was the only person that ever had on that didn't lie, didn't trash people behind their back. I did say things that were not complimentary, but I said them on camera to the person's face.
And they do try to steer you to they'll go, like whoever. John look like he looks down on you, right? Like he thinks he's better than you are. Isn't that right?
It's so weird because Donald Trump hosted that show, and as president, he hasn't been divisive at all. He's been all just welcoming. to everybody in the country.
Because he got it all out of his system on Celebrity.
I guess so. And when it was important, he became, wait 1 second here. We're one country, and we all work together no matter what our differences are. I remember that speech he gave during the Black Lives Matter, where he said, yes, it is a great country, and we're going to make it even better. Make it even better by being inclusive and having nobody left out. And oh, by the way, we've also got this pandemic, and we have to protect each other. So please, even if you feel healthy, wear a mask because you're protecting other people. And please stay in because our elderly and our weak people need our help to keep that together. Because this country, and indeed this world, can all pull together with love and peace. Remember that?
I actually followed Donald Trump's "I Have a Dream" speech at the Flamingo downtown Capitol. It was a tough job.
Penn, sorry to fact check you real quick. That speech is by Michael Rappaport in round 2 of the TBS Tournament of Laughs.
My favorite, whenever I'm on these competition shows, I've been, dropped in each challenge. So my favorite is like when they go, "Oh, you're off the show, Gilbert," and I go, "Okay, fine." Yeah. And they want you to be upset. And I'm like, "Okay, I'll go."
I fall to my knees again. It's really all I'm good at. I just fall to my knees. Why? Rejected again.
I was told that I was too good a loser. And I said, I've been practicing my whole goddamn life.
Well, like on the cooking show, because I wanted to lose, so I just made a peanut butter sandwich as my dish.
I remember.
And then, so I lost that round, and they said, well, you got one more chance to make something else, and then you could get back on. So I made a peanut butter sandwich again, but this time with strawberry slices cut up on it. And surprisingly lost, and was off the show and quite happy.
I lost, what's that show? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the celebrity edition. I thought that the biggest exports from Peru were cashews.
Gesundheit.
And bless you. It was potatoes. And everyone in the room was like, how did you not know that? And I was like, this is the fact that everyone knows that potatoes are from Lima?
The largest, what was that again?
The largest export of Peru. Now, this is clearly not the exact question I got asked, is it? Now I'm just thinking, even as I say this doesn't sound at all likely. The largest export of Peru is A, something, B, potatoes, C, something, D, cashews. Or pistachios. Could have been pistachios.
Gesundheit.
Bless you. And then,
Well, it couldn't be pistachios, because pistachios don't grow in any more than 5% humidity. How can you not know the humidity needed to grow pistachios?
I don't even know cashews are the ones that grow out of the fruit like a testicle, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah. I have no.
Pistachio is not a nut, by the way.
What?
Pistachio is not a nut. It is a.
No, he's quite normal. If you sit down and talk to him, he's very rational.
Pistachios are a lot like Charlie Manson.
There is.
Once you get to know them, they make a lot of sense.
There is a particular food-based charity who's also screaming at the screen like you are, Penn, because I lost them quite a sizable amount of money with my lack of cashew knowledge.
When we were on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the Already a Millionaire edition, we were doing very well. And then we had to say what animal part grew the fastest. And I did not know that it was cashews. No, that it was it was antlers.
Oh.
I didn't know that deer antlers grew faster than elephant tusks.
Wow. Now that's a competition show I want to watch.
How much did you lose?
I think we made whatever, I don't know where it starts in doubles. We made about $100,000 for our charity.
Oh my God, I made $10,000 for mine, and that was only because they gave me $10,000 once I got the question wrong out of pity.
Yes, it was indeed pecans versus potatoes for Peru. You were right.
Pecans, that's it. Pecans. Yeah, pecan. How do you say that word?
Pecans.
Pecans.
Although not Godot. How do you say that word, Godot?
I say pecans. No, that's right. We don't say pecans in the South so much.
Pecans.
Last of the Piff pecans.
I like potatoes and I like pecans.
Does it change when you add pie?
Pecan pie. No.
Pecan pie.
No, it just means that you can't get it. You can't get it anywhere in America because nobody understands what you're saying. I'd like a pecan pie. Okay, but what flavor? A pecan pie. Okay, you can have a look, but what flavor?
Now, you're the one who will not say tomato when you go through a drive-through, right?
I will not. It doesn't matter how long I'm stuck in a drive-through. I will not budge. I will say, good evening. I'd like a hamburger, please, or a cheeseburger normally. Well, actually, it would be the issue. It really comes up is In-N-Out Burger and Whopper and Big Mac. Those are the two things that have to remove the tomato from because they're not. It's not a problem at McDonald's, and that's why it's such a wonderful place. But Big Mac and In-N-Out, I'll go and I say, can I get a burger with no tomato, please? And they say, what? A burger? Okay, no tomato. What? No tomato. What? No tomato. What? No tomato. What? No tomato. And I have been
and
there.
They say, wait a minute, are you Gilbert Gottfried? And then they ask you to autograph a picture of Tracy Lords for Penthouse.
Yeah. And then I have to get Teller to call them up saying, hello, this is Teller. Piff the Magic Dragon would very much like a burger without tomato, please. Thank you. Goodbye. And then he curses them all out. My friend, who is also English, he is caved, and he says butter and tomato and blah, 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 blah. And, but so he'll be like, hello, please may I have a hamburger with no tomato and also a biscuit with butter. And also, I would very much like a water. It sounds like Siri is filling in the blanks for him. Water. The other thing I get is I very much like coconut water. Okay, delicious drink. Okay, I thought it was healthy. Turns out I was wrong. So anyway, I often go to a restaurant and say, hello, could I have a coconut water, please? And they bring me a Coke and a water. A Coke and a water. And I go, what are these two drinks? And they said, you said a coconut water. And I said, no, a coconut water. Yeah, a coconut water. I'm like, this country has given me so much and yet has taken away my beverages of choice and makes me eat burgers with tomatoes, which is really Satan's food, as Tracy Lords calls it.
Now, Gilbert, to bring you into the conversation, what hysterical problems have you had with your Jew accent?
Well, that brings us back to the Holocaust.
Oh, I didn't know you said oven.
Hey, last time somebody tweeted me, and I had forgotten. Last time I was on with you, we were talking, and anyone out there can look this up. We were talking about Steven Tyler's toes.
Yes, we were.
And if you could look up Steven, anyone out there, look up their hideously deformed toes.
We'll wait.
Is that all you have to say?
That's it. They were like months. I just thought of it.
I have hideously deformed toes. you want to see them?
You have
Yes. Oh,
Have I never shown you my toes before, Penn? Matt, have you seen my toes?
I have not.
I have.
Okay, hang on. Let me put this on the floor. Look.
Oh, Jesus.
oh, they are.
What's wrong with that?
Are you Steven Tyler?
What is that?
I may well be.
Your ring toes, I guess they're called the ring toe.
Yeah.
Your ring toe is horribly dwarfed?
Yeah, it's like a raptor claw.
It's like above.
Just like it's like a dinosaur toe. So listen.
Those are scary feet.
Well, here's the thing, though. From my perspective, and I'm going to try and show you now, although I don't think I will be able to. They don't look as deformed from my perspective as they do from the front on. So I spent my life believing that it wasn't that bad, and people were like shrieking in horror. And then once I caught myself in the mirror, and I was like, "Oh, that is horrific." So let me show. Oh no, where's my camera gone?
Is that Steven Tyler's toe?
Yeah.
I think so.
It's the same toe. Look, from my point of view, let me see if I can show you this without dropping my expensive laptop that doesn't work on the floor. It doesn't look that bad from here, does it?
No.
Not as bad. It doesn't look good.
I mean, I agree. It doesn't look good, but it doesn't look that bad. But from the front on, let's just go front on again. It's unspeakable. I mean, look at that. It's just like, look.
Hideous.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even... Oh, God, that's ugly.
Do you have a hard time shopping for particular shoes?
Nope. It doesn't impact my life in any way. Or so I thought. I don't know. That sounds like the setup to a great story that I don't have yet. But hopefully I will. Hopefully I'll have it at one point in the future. No, it does. No, it's fine. It just I just keep my socks on in bed for various reasons.
So, so Gilbert, do you have a part of your body that is not hideous?
No, you got me on that one.
So when people thought you were saying Steven Tyler had hideous toes, what were you actually saying?
Well, when people say Steven Tyler's got hideous toes, everyone goes, "Oh, they speaking in Yiddish." My rabbi said to me, "Steven Tyler's got hideous toes."
Mazel tov, hideous toes. So, Piff,
Yes.
how much Yiddish do you know?
Not enough. Not enough for whatever follows next.
I mean, you can say, let's schlep this schmuck out of here and stup him with our schlongs, right?
I schlep everything. Yeah. Everything I have to carry, I schlep.
But what you schlep, what other Yiddish do you use? Do you use verkakte?
No.
Uh,
No, I say mensch.
mensch, Michigas?
You're a mensch. What?
Michigas?
No.
Certainly schmuck. Shtick,
Yeah.
you use shtick, right?
Stick. Yeah.
Matt Donnelly, how much Yiddish do you know?
And what's the other one? The locks. I use the locks a lot. That guy's a locks. Is that Yiddish or is that just a sip?
No, that's comedy writer.
Okay.
What do you got, Matt?
Yeah, schlep, schmuck, and shtick a lot. I got that going on.
Goodell from Louisiana.
Yeah.
As a coon ass in Louisiana,
Yeah.
how much Yiddish was used?
None. Zero. Bagel sometimes.
And ready?
In keeping with the visual theme of the show,
Oh, there you go. The joys of Yiddish.
Oh.
Now open that book at random
Oh, yeah.
and let's see how we do in the final round of Who Wants to Be a Wholesale Millionaire with Gilbert Gottfried.
Yes.
Gilbert quit. We offended him.
Oh,
Give us that.
he hates being fact-checked on his Yiddish.
So I guess we'll go without Gilbert for a few moments and until he gets his connection back up.
Well, let's show all of our feet until Gilbert gets back.
Have you not seen my feet before,
I've
man?
never seen them.
I have seen your feet before.
Are they even worse in person, Matt?
Definitely.
I was struck, but I was also an employee, so I didn't mention anything.
Was I displaying my feet to you, or did you happen to catch a glance of
It was a
them?
glance situation.
That's much worse.
Yeah.
Can I expect a lawsuit coming up when you say that one day he displayed his toes to me
I was not
and I was horrified?
I was not warned by HR when I signed my paperwork that I'd be exposed to these toes.
Trigger toe
Right.
warning.
Brett, who plays Francis on our show, one of his nipples is lower than the other. Now, not substantially.
Substantially?
That word? Substantially lower. But
Butter.
enough that you'd notice, you'd notice, and then you think, is it me? Or is that nipple lower than the other nipple? And then you have to kind of keep looking to wonder whether it's you or not. My toe is not on that scale. If you see it in a passing glance, you're like, oh, God. It's like that.
Don't need to get a level out to check the toes. But it's great for the nipples.
On the things I take for granted in my life, symmetrical nipples is definitely adding to the list today.
Yeah.
Symmetrical nipples was my porn name.
Has anybody got asymmetrical nipples in this conversation?
I don't believe I do.
I'm not sure I've checked.
No. I mean, it is astonishing how distracting asymmetrical nipples are on the body of a medieval squire.
I knew a woman who had 3 nipples.
Yeah.
She had another nipple on the side of one breast, where I guess she would feed her demons, her familiars, as we call them in the witch hunting world.
Often, I get that as a fact often. There used to be a moment in the show, which I had to cut for time, where I would get 4 or 5 people to put their hands up, and I would get like a fact from each of them, and the audience would vote on their favorite to decide who's going to come up on stage next. And it was unbelievable how many times 3 nipples came up, and I would make every one of those people prove that they had 3 nipples. I think it's quite a common thing. Maybe just at the Piff the Magic Dragon show, where
When you're hiring an advertiser,
right.
when you're saying demographics, and you say we want to hit our audience, and they say, "What kind of demographic do you play for, Piff?" And they go, "Hit the 3 nipple population."
Yeah. Well, it's also like the tagline for the show is "Come for the toes, stay for the dragon." So they're like, "Oh yeah, he's just like me."
Now, Matt Donnelly, since Gilbert's not here,
Right.
to pull us all into the gutter,
Right. Yes.
what was on Fool Us last week?
Oh, good point. That's a great question. Great question. This is Wednesday episode, so we're talking about them 2 Mondays ago.
Yeah.
We had Miranda Allen on, and she's the one who did the escape from a barrel of wine.
Oh, did I love her?
Yeah.
Oh, did I love her?
Yeah.
She was fabulous.
She's fabulous. She had a friend in the act. They mic'd her friend. They made it like a real 2-person kind
It's
of.
really a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
That speech about, loving your friend and being scared was wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
Who else we have?
By the way, I had a friend. we have listeners who just like who aren't magicians but are locksmiths, and they were very upset at the way magicians pick locks on escape acts.
What do they want? How do they want it done?
Well, they're like, "There's no tension wrench," and I was like, "Right." Everyone watching is wondering the same thing. Where's the tension wrench?
I once got booked for this thing called the European Locksmiths Federation, and it was in Greece at a museum in Athens, the War Museum, which they erected to remember the lives lost in the war, and also to give a stage to a magic dragon at a corporate performance. And I was doing an escapology act. Now, I didn't have then, nor do I have today, an escapology act. So before I went on stage with this escapology act that I didn't have, and it had been a long show. It had already been like 3 hours. And they said, coming up next, we have an artistic performance, because this is all going through a translator. We have an artistic performance, or there's the buffet's just open. You can go and get lunch early. So the entire room exited, apart from 12 people, 9 of whom were on the board of the people who booked me. And so I go out to do this thing, and I have a translator. So I walk out, tell a couple of jokes to just crickets, and the translator says to me in English, "Do you know any about football?" I said, "No." He said, "Oh dear." So he continues to translate me, and then I was doing this thing where I like had to chain myself into a chair, and then I would like escape before the guy on stage, who was also chained into a chair, did, and I couldn't escape because I don't have an escapology act. I just have a getting locked in a chair act. So I got locked in a chair, and I was walking around for the last 20 minutes with a chair just sticking out of my butt because I got a little bit faster. I wriggled out, and then I looked around, and it turns out that they didn't have enough banner space for European Locksmiths Federation. So I was actually performing at the Elf convention with a chair on my butt, like a little elf.
We have Gilbert back. Yes.
Yeah. I got so upset when Piff was using Yiddish words that I kicked my computer. Because it was like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park speaking in Yiddish. It was like if the T-Rex showed up and went,
Now, Gilbert, you don't speak Yiddish, do you?
No.
But you picked up a word or two.
Yes.
Now, do you have your Joy of Yiddish there ready? Open it to a random page and let's quiz Gilbert.
Okay, the random word I landed on was schmegega.
Schmegega.
That would have to be. I mean, it would be like used if someone's an idiot, but I think it basically means like a dick, like a schmeckel.
An unadmirable petty person. A sycophant, a schlepper, a whiner, a drip.
Okay.
Try another.
Okay.
I don't give him credit on that, by the way. He's 0 for 1.
Kapora.
Well, it's either Richer or Kapoor. No, don't. Yeah.
What is it?
No good. It's good for nothing. It's a mess. Atonement by vicarious methods was the original meaning in Hebrew.
I was going to say atonement by vicarious methods. It's funny.
So close. Always got to go with your first instinct.
So, Gilbert, are you tonight on Tournament of Laughs?
I think so.
And what are you going to do?
I never really know. They don't let you know. What?
You know what you're going to do if you get on.
Yes, I don't know. I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I swear the fifth.
If you get on,
Yeah.
you know what you're going to do.
If I get on, I know what I don't know what the fuck is being spoken about here. If I'm on, vote for me. I don't give a fuck.
You got my vote.
Well, if Gilbert's on, we don't know what the fuck he's going to do. We do know that Piff is going to have me in his.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're scheduled. Gilbert and I are scheduled. If we keep winning, we're scheduled to meet in the finals, Gilbert and I.
Really?
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
You can only meet in the finals.
Yeah, we can only meet in the finals, can't we, Gilbert? At which point, I will be voting. When every comedian votes for themselves.
Yeah. And mine has fire in it.
Yes.
Good.
Well, this is going to be very awkward. I kind of hope one of you gets knocked out tonight, so you don't go against each other in the fight. I guess I should.
It's not. How is it going to be awkward? It's not going to be awkward. We all know who we're voting for. You think I'm going to break my unbroken run of losing for Gilbert? No. No. Go down in flames, son. In flames.
The greatest loser of all time.
Now, have you ever been on a cooking show, Piff?
No, but I'd like to.
Are you a good cook?
I can make scrambled eggs. Are you ever going to eat eggs again in your lifetime?
I don't know.
Okay, well, if you are, give me a call. I'll come over and make scrambled eggs because they really are unbelievable. And that's the one thing that I can do.
Can you do a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
No, I can't. I get Jade to make me that sandwich, and she is so great at making sandwiches. I woke her up at 2 a.m. the other day to make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then I said this to somebody because she was complaining about it, and I was like, "Can you believe Jade was upset about this?" And they said, "Yes, we can believe that. Actually, why on earth would you make your girlfriend up at 2:30 in the morning to make a sandwich?" But they haven't tasted the sandwich, you see, so. The whole world has no point.
What makes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich especially good?
Well, if I knew that, I wouldn't wake her up at 2 a.m. to make a sandwich. I'm not a monster.
Gilbert, can you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Oh, absolutely.
Now we know who Penn's voting for.
Yeah.
But we already knew. We already knew who both Penn and I were voting for. We're voting for Gilbert.
Now, Piff, what makes your scrambled eggs so good?
I didn't know for a long time. And then I recorded it for when we were doing the Piff TV shows. I recorded me making scrambled eggs in the kitchen. And the recipe is I take 6 eggs.
You wouldn't want to record you making scrambled eggs in the bedroom. That's inappropriate.
It was inappropriate, as the first few videos showed. They're on my OnlyFans. OnlyFans.com/Piff the Magic Dragon. No, I took six eggs, cracked them into a glass, then I mixed them with a fork, and then I scrunched in some pepper. Okay? And everyone's like, okay, nothing, don't really know why these are so good yet. Then I pour them into a pan, and then I take half of a pot of butter, just half of a pot, and I scoop it in, and I just melt it into the scrambled eggs, and then I put those on a plate, and everyone's eating them, and they're like, oh God, this is delicious. Mystery solved. It turns out everyone's eating butter. Butter's delicious.
When I did the cooking shows, which by the way I did well on but didn't win, I was told by the chef who coached me that you just put Jeff Tila, that you just put obscene amounts of butter in everything,
Right.
and you win.
That's my secret.
Yeah.
It's astonishing how good butter tastes.
I when I was doing the cooking show, I spoke to a chef, and he showed me how to make a steak sauce. And the steak sauce was a stick of butter, an entire stick of butter, with loads of salt on it. And he says, salt is the secret recipe for everything.
Yes.
He said you could add it to sugar and make sugar taste better. That's how salt. So all I did was melt down a stick of butter and add a load of salt to it, and it was delicious.
But that is specific to America, because when I grew up in England, my favorite food was corn on the cob. It was like just corn on the cob. I loved that. It was like my birthday treat. So then, a few years ago, I went on the potato diet as advocated in Penn's book, and Penn and Godot talked rapturously about how on the 15th day of just eating potatoes, they finally got to eat a corn on the cob, and it was like candy. They couldn't believe it. It was like there was no butter, there was no salt. It was just corn on the cob, and it tasted delicious. You have no idea how much I was looking forward to that 15th day. I was like, corn on the cob is already my favorite food in the world. Imagine how good it will taste after eating potatoes for 15 days. On the 15th day, I cooked a corn on the cob. I put it in my mouth. I ate it, and I was like, oh, it tastes like corn on the cob. Because I never did that. It was already delicious. It was still my favorite. It was the most disappointing experience of the last few years.
Well,
You're monsters with your salt intake over here.
It's true. It's true. As a matter of fact, I was very sick and in the hospital because of my salt intake and my American diet for years. Now my salt intake is very, very, very low. I'm now at the point where celery tastes too salty to me.
yeah.
Plain celery.
Is celery the food that if you eat, then you get hungrier? Is that
No,
food?
there's no food that's true of. That's always been.
I thought it's like the more you eat it, the more you have to work to digest it, and by the time you finish, you're in a calorie deficiency.
Not true. but a lot of people have claimed that.
Really?
But it's very close. It's very low. Very low.
Another one I tried that with was a stick of butter with salt on it. I ate that thinking that I'd be calorie deficient, and then it turns out I was not at all.
Well, I read that when people climb Everest, in order to get enough calories in their body, they have to just eat sticks of butter. It was the only time I ever considered climbing Everest.
I've said many times, I watched Michael Phelps' documentary where he's swimming like 16 hours a day, but in the morning he eats whatever he wants, like 4 steaks, like chips, eggs, everything. He can eat anything, like 4 McDonald's. He can eat that for morning. And I was like, well, it might be worth it.
I met Michael Jordan's cook. And Michael Jordan, he told me what Michael Jordan would eat before a basketball game. And it included, gigantic steak, 3 baked potatoes, all this other stuff. But then for dessert, an entire box of what kind of pudding was it? Banana pudding with an entire box of Nilla wafers.
Oh, wow.
And he was starving hungry at halftime.
Oh, my, why'd you get into basketball, Piff? You don't seem to be built for it. You don't seem to have the technical expertise or the skill set. Well, you should see my snack. It's a box of Dunkin' Donuts and 9 Big Macs. That's what I had before I go on. I did this thing where if I was thinking about writing a book where I was granted one wish, and my wish would be to be able to throw a basketball from anywhere in the court and have it land in the net, right? That was my wish. Because I thought with that, I could become the most powerful sporting hero of our age, where it's like the whole entire sport of basketball becomes meaningless because all we have to do is give it to me from wherever I am. And the whole game becomes just like, how many players in basketball? Let's say 9. 9 players crowding me in the corner. Yet even though they're crowding me, I still go, just throw it over my shoulder. It goes in the net. I eat 9 Big Macs.
But they can stop you from getting the ball out of your hands.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They can't. Because
Yes.
I can hold the ball. I thought this through. I can hold the ball out of bounds. Okay. And then even if I throw it forwards, remember my wish, even if I threw it horizontally forwards, that basketball will soar through the air, back, over my head, swish, another 3 points. At the buzzer, it'll be like, oh no, they've got, look, think how exciting this game will be. Oh no, they've got Piff the Magic Dragon in the corner. There's no way. He can't even throw his ball into the court. What's he doing now? He's throwing it horizontally towards a 5-year-old who happens to have courtside tickets bought by their very rich parents. Look, the basketball takes off, swishes around, the buzzer goes, swish, crowd go wild, the people, my teammates lift me up, carry me off, and we go through a drive-through. I've thought it through, Penn.
You have thought this through.
Yeah, I really have. I put a considerable amount of time into, because I thought it would be a book. I thought this would be my masterpiece.
Now, Gilbert,
my Moby Dick.
if you had one wish, what would it be?
Oh boy, that's well, and this is not very original. That would be wishing for more wishes.
Yeah. And then once you got those, what would be the first one you'd wish for?
Oh God, I'm sure it would have something to do with sex.
But you see, my wish has something to do with sex because I'll be the greatest basketball player who's ever lived.
But
And
the
therefore-
reason people are sexually attracted to basketball players is not just their success, but also the way they look.
Well, we'll see about that, won't we? We'll see about that. They'll be willing to overlook some small details, and by small, I mean literally, I'm 5'5". I'll be the Frodo Baggins of the NBA.
Don't take your socks off.
Oh yeah, I won't take my socks off. I'll keep them on. But it's fine because I'll have a sponsorship deal. I'll have like Piff Nikes, Nike Piff or whatever.
That have that feature the claw toe edition.
Yes, yeah. There'll be a raised bump so that my claw toe will be sufficiently aerated, and maybe I'll have a whole new outlook on life because maybe the tension in my body comes from the trapping of my toe. You see, you didn't think that there was so much to this wish, did you, Penn? And now you're realizing it opens up a whole new life for me.
I realize that you lie on your bed in your
Yes.
twilight moments
Yes.
between sleep and wakefulness, and you think about being a basketball star.
Yeah. I think about what would happen if I got one wish, and then when I think of the idea, I go, hang on a minute, think it through. What would happen next? You know? And then I go, look, what would happen after that? And I could do that for a long time.
World peace?
Yeah, I think so. Because there's too much, you know, when you're watching a sport, you get very, very, like, tense and angry, and then you go out and invade a country. So this would be like...
The end of the coronavirus?
Probably, because...
No, but is this on your list as one wish?
Yeah, this is on my list, yeah. Yeah. It all comes from the ability. You understand, I could literally slam it on my claw toe, and the floor would repel it into the hoop. Do you understand what's going on with my skill?
You know, Penn, my wish was to cure coronavirus, but now that I hear Piff out, I think mine's also to play basketball.
Really?
No, don't steal my wish. Because then it would be a draw.
What if you both get your wishes and two different teams scout you?
Yeah, right.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Who has the ball last, you know?
That's not going to... It's whoever wins the toss. And then, you know, you're going to have somebody come in and be like, oh, my wish is to be able to predict a coin toss, and they're going to make billions from betting on our sports matches, just like in Back to the Future 2, and then Donald Trump's going to be president. Wait.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, it already happened.
And since mine had to do with sex, I'm going to make it that I want to fuck a basketball player.
The honor would be all mine, honestly, at this point. I will happily vote for you in the final of Tournament of Laughs and be violated by you in whichever way you choose.
Now, I will tell you, if in the final episode of Tournament of Laughs, the host said, tonight, on a very special episode, our two competitors have decided to work together and do a video of them having sex with each other. Now, America, vote.
Now, by the way, we have the power to make this happen. We don't need that host to say that. The power is in our hands, Gilbert.
We don't need a genie for this one.
All we need is a strong public vote to continue to vote for Gilbert and Piff. If Gilbert and Piff get into the finals, sweet, sweet love will follow.
Well, there you have it. There you have it, congregants. Watch Tournament of Laughs. Vote for Piff and Gilbert until it is down to just Piff and Gilbert, and they will have sex with one another for your comedy viewing pleasure.
Yeah. Gilbert will come out top.
We will see which one of them is able to fuck funniest. Thank you, Gilbert, for being on the show.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Piff the Magic Dragon, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Matt, for barely being on the show.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to barely be here.
Thank you, Michael Goudot. Thank you, Reddy Rich. And that was Penn Sunday School.
Before I run the theme, the live chat has described this as the best Brady Bunch episode ever. So everybody get a good look at where you are on the screen and be ready to greet each other.
Okay.
That was Penn Sunday School.
Cha-cha-cha.
And to our listening ears,
You become naked.
nature sang and round us rang the music of the spheres.
Huh, huh, huh. You know, you're waving the wrong way, Matt. Maybe it's different for all of us.
It's all different for all of us. I'm hedging my bets. I'm doing every direction.
I see. You'll cut it in later. And you know, we'll all make sweet, sweet love to you.